Cancer, the thing that I want to say is not all emotions come through at the same time. And so what you're going to notice throughout January is that you're going through a fresh grievance process as you're releasing and processing some of the emotions that haven't quite left you right now. I can see that there's a lot of lingering emotions from the back end of 2024, things that you haven't had chance to process, but you almost haven't had the reality to be able to think straight either. Now, what Spirit is bringing to the surface is this huge reminder that as we're going through January, sometimes we need to take the time to cleanse our emotions, to think clearly, and give ourselves chance to process. This is not a time to be holding on and troopering through. Unfortunately, you're going to need to give yourself chance to regulate and think your way through these emotions. And so you want to be purging and you want to be cleansing and you want to be feeling everything that's coming to the surface because it's coming to the surface for a reason. Now, something is shifting in your awareness as we're going through January, and whatever anger that you've had placed at somebody else, this is actually shifting right now. I can see that you're stepping into a deeper state of consciousness where you no longer care about somebody else. And so there was somebody in 2024 that you were quite entangled with and your journey was quite chaotic with. But as we're going into 2025, it's like, I don't care about the anger that I have towards you. I care about me doing better. And so you're already entering a more positive frame of mind where you're thinking about your journey of evolution and who you want to become throughout 2025. Now, the word that I keep hearing is selective. And I feel the key thing that you need to remember going into this year is to be selective. Be selective with who you conversate with. Be selective with who you allow into your life. And stop saying yes to things that are not beneficial to you. And so if you are saying yes to spending time with friends that have a bad influence on you, or you're saying yes to business commitments and business investments that are not paying off, you really need to be thinking about what is right for you in the long run. And this is how you're actually coming back to your power and coming back to that deeper energy and relationship with yourself, because you're carefully thinking everything through and only being willing to say yes to the things that are going to be beneficial for you in the long run. Now, in bringing your attention back to yourself, Spirit is saying, remember that just because things look great in somebody else's life doesn't always mean that they are. And I feel this is a huge reminder to just stay focused on your own center and your own direction. What I will say with January is that you have to think long-term versus short-term. Your mindset can sometimes think about what is the benefit right now, what is the result right now, what is the reward right now. You want to be thinking long term. And so January is about aligning your life in the long term for this year rather than thinking for that instant gratification. Now, with thinking about instant gratification, I do want you to be very, very mindful about the things that you're doing in your life that are very adrenaline focused on the now. You can be an adrenaline junkie, which means if there's going to be a benefit for right now, you're like, yes, let's do it. Let's say yes to it. Let's commit to it. Let's do all of the things. And then you sit there and you sink in and you're like, actually, that wasn't rewarding. That didn't give me what it is that I wanted. And so you want to stop seeking that adrenaline and start thinking things through a little bit deeper. Now, I can see from the readings that we did last year that relationships were very strong in the energy for you. I actually feel January is a better frame of mind because you're able to think clearly again. It's like you're no longer consumed by the negativity of this relationship. You're reflecting on how you need to become better, what you need to do to be able to open your heart into healthy relationships moving forward. One of the things coming to the surface here is you need to focus on you. It is not your job to fill up somebody else's cup. It is not your job to get what you need from somebody else. You need to focus on you. And this is a time of really sitting there and kind of dissecting your own behavior and your own habits and taking yourself through a brand new healing journey. And that's something that can be hard because you feel like you're riding two parts of yourself right now. The version of you that is releasing and processing and crumbling, and the version of you who's a leader and taking control of their own life. And you need to remember that there's two things. They live and they breathe together. They're in cohesion together. And so just because you're going through a process doesn't mean that you should stop yourself and hold yourself back. What I do feel is that this is a great time of opening yourself up. And so if you've been thinking about opening up to new relationships, Spirit is saying yes, you're getting that strong green light. But you do need to be thinking about that selective energy and making sure that you're thinking wisely about who you want in your life, their type of personality, their type of energy, is it going to be beneficial to you? And if the answer is no, this is where we're going to put the boundaries on. Again, if there's things that you're doing in business, partnerships, collaborations, saying yes to being on podcasts, but it's not the right energy that you want to scale into your life, start saying no, because visibility is not the most important thing if you're just saying yes to all these opportunities that aren't actually grounded and rooted in the energy and the values that you want in your business in the long run. Now, what Spirit is saying here is that old relationship connections, they're not completely done and dusted. And I feel like you know that at some point there's going to have to be some clarity that comes from old pathways relationship-wise. This could be an intimate relationship. It could be a friendship, a family member, somebody that you've cut contact with that you need to clear the energy of temporarily. I feel January, you need to explore yourself. You need to explore your own focus points, and you need to get comfortable with what it looks like to call somebody new into your life that can give you what it is that you want in this chapter. And you will actually revisit this old energy around the month of April. And so April is going to be a time of exploring old energy and really deciding whether to completely finish old soul contracts, whether to walk away completely or just kind of figure things out and maybe move forward together. But from January through to April, what I'm actually seeing is this is a time of opening yourself up to fresh energy, to new energy, getting inspired, being a little bit flirtatious. And I feel relationship-wise, you need someone that shows up for you. At the end of the day, you are such a strong energy. You don't want to have to think about holding the masculine energy in a relationship. And I want you to think very, very intentionally around this, because as I'm connecting with you, and obviously I speak predominantly to women and those who embody the identity of a woman, you want to be thinking about those feminine natures and those softening energies and how you're giving yourself permission to sink in and feel into this month. If you feel like you're having to provide for somebody else or look after somebody else's emotions or do those masculine overriding things in a relationship, start thinking about actually receiving, because you have an unhealthy relationship with the masculine energy at times, Cancer. And when I'm leaning in, what Spirit is showcasing to me is that you've always been in this go, go, go frequency for as long as you can remember. And this year you're having to learn, what does it actually look like to not be in that go, go, go masculine frequency? You are in this toxic state of over providing for yourself. And what I want you to remember is that yes, the masculine provides, but not in a toxic way where it's like, let me do, let me provide, let me be in the lead and in the control. It actually knows when to kind of shift healthily into the feminine state. And so yes, you want to have a balance of the masculine and the feminine, but you do want to make sure that somebody else is providing for you emotionally. And that's something that's been absent. If you are having to ask continuously for what you need again and again and again in relationships, you need to think about your standard right now. It feels like you're releasing ties with drama in your life, and to release ties with drama, you're having to get comfortable with where you've actually allowed it in. And so this is all about you meeting your standard again and being willing to set new boundaries with your life and the direction of your life. So Cancer, if this has resonated, drop me a like and subscribe down below and stay tuned for more monthly content.